In a forgotten age when kingdoms rose from dust and returned to dust, when the world was guided only by the glow of torches and the whispers of ancient winds, there lived a boy named Kale. Born in a small wooden hut on the edge of a vast forest where shadows carried stories older than any written scroll. And though his world looked peaceful from the outside, Kale's life was carved from hardship. His father lost in a war he never wanted, his mother fighting every day to keep him fed, and Kale himself growing up hearing villagers say that children without fathers never become anything great. Yet even in those bleak days, Kale carried a spark inside him, a silent voice that kept whispering, "You were born for more than this." Every night he sat near the old tree where fireflies danced like stars, imagining a future where he could change his fate instead of accepting the one forced upon him. And though life kept testing him, cold winters with empty bowls, long days working in the fields for a single piece of bread, mockery from people who believed the world owed them, comfort Kale refused to let bitterness win. One day during a violent storm that shook the sky like an angry god, Kale found shelter inside the village's abandoned watchtower, where he discovered an old man sitting calmly beside a dying fire. The man's cloak was torn, his beard silver like moonlight, and his eyes sharper than forged steel. Kale asked, "Why sit here alone in this storm?" And the old man replied, "Because storms reveal truth. They show who runs and who stands." And Kale, trembling from cold but refusing to leave, said, "I want to stand, but I am not strong enough." To which the old man placed a weathered hand on his shoulder and whispered, "Strength is never given, boy. It is earned in moments when quitting looks easier than breathing." He handed Kale a rusted pendant shaped like an ancient symbol, saying, "This belonged to warriors who rose from nothing. Keep it and rise." From that night onward, Kale began transforming his life, waking before dawn to train, lifting stones until his arms shook, running up the old hill until his lungs burned, studying forgotten writings carved on the tower walls. And every time pain tried to break him, he held the pendant and repeated the old man's words, "Strength is earned." Seasons passed, and the once timid boy became a young man with fire in his eyes. But destiny was not done testing him. A terrible drought struck the land, drying rivers, killing crops, and spreading despair like a plague. Villagers gave up, blaming fate, blaming gods, blaming each other, but, remembering the storm and the old man's words, refused to surrender. He stepped forward during a village meeting and declared, "I will find the forgotten spring. I will bring back water." And though people laughed, calling it a myth, told two children, Kale walked into the wilderness alone, armed with nothing but hope and the pendant. The journey broke him, repeatedly days under crushing heat, nights crawling across jagged rocks, hunger tearing at his stomach, loneliness screaming in his ears, but each time he fell, he forced himself to rise, whispering, "Strength is earned." After weeks of suffering, Kale reached the giant canyons described only in fading legends. And deep within the echoing cliffs, he heard the faint sound of dripping water. With trembling hands, he pushed aside ancient stones until a hidden spring burst into view, glowing like liquid silver under the dim light. With tears streaming down his dirt-covered face, he filled his flask and whispered, "For my people, for my martyr, for the boy I used to be." When Kale returned to the village carrying fresh water, the people stared in disbelief. And as the drought ended, they no longer saw an orphan boy, they saw a symbol of hope, a reminder that greatness isn't born from luxury, but from those who choose to stand when the world tells them to kneel. Kale's story spread across valleys and kingdoms, told 4 generations as a lesson that no matter how broken your past, how heavy your pain, or how hopeless your path may look, the ones who rise again and again become the legends that guide others out of darkness.